It really put a smile on my face. I'm here giggling. I'm supposed to do a video talking about it. Hello, Dylan from Throttle Company here, where we sell Moto Guzzi, Royal Enfield, and there's a BSA, the red one over there, and vintage bikes. And we got a special, let's say this is a three-part series, because we got 3 bikes from the same owner. These are consignment bikes. We occasionally do this. If you look back through our videos, we've done stuff like this before, and there's a familiar theme because it's the same owner, and we've done stuff like this in the past. They're kind of always aluminum, silver, some kind of like silvery metal, racy, flat tracky kind of thing. The guy's a good friend of ours. We've probably sold 6 or 7 bikes from him, and here's 3 more. So he just brought us rapid fire 3 of them. I got notes because there's so much to notice on these, and if you really want to see more, you can go to our website, and then we've got the Cycle Trader listings, which kind of have all that stuff, and that's kind of how we do everything. I really messed up my folding here. Origami. Alright, so let's start with this one, but I'll give you a good look at the other 2, so in case you want to watch those other videos. 73 Triumph, 72 Norton Commando, and then the first one we're going to start with here is a 2003, which happens to be the anniversary of Harley-Davidson started in 1903, so it's 100th anniversary. They did a whole bunch of cool bikes. They're all kind of a consistent color theme, except this one's so custom it doesn't look like that anymore. But I'm going to put up a photo of a XR1200. They're kind of the sporty Sportster, and this theme, let's say the general theme of this is sort of spared no expense racer. So this is a racing Sportster. It's a 1200cc engine, dual spark plug heads, the S&S Super Carb. You can kind of see that with the big air cleaner there. Let's see how I'm doing on this. Oh, 6-speed transmission, which notoriously Sportsters always had a 5-speed, and that's what everybody always complains about you need next year. But GP shift, so that's 1 up, 5 down. For racing, of course. We'll see how I handle that. Stores, performance fuel tank, flat track seat, cool, #1 Harley Davidson, just awesome aluminum tank. Custom Vans and Tynes exhaust, you see that 2-into-1 down here, and it's actually quite quiet, so I don't know if there's like some baffles or something that you could potentially take. I don't see any, but it's nice. It's classy. It's not, this isn't a Harley for Harley guys. This is what they would do if they want to get sporty with it. And then of course the Olin suspension. So you know, if you know anything about these suspension, that's probably a $2,000 suspension there between those 2 shocks. Now we also have adjustable front forks, so you can see the adjusters here. So full on adjustable race suspension. We have a ton of details on this one, and paperwork that goes with it. Oh, steering dampener from Olin's down there, and obviously the custom rear sets and everything. So we'll see how she goes. Now this, I forgot to tighten the mirror. Hopefully that won't be a problem. This mirror's a little loose, so don't hold it against me or the owner there. He told me about it. I just forgot because I got so much set up with these 3. So to start this, quite simple. Fuel is already on. This is carbureted. Oh, I need gloves. I was holding my paper and folding my paper. Alright, so carbureted. It has a choke, but he told me don't use it. So it kind of has its tuning perfectly there. Alright, so key on. And then let's... Starts up, quiet. The kickstand automatically retracts. And I remember I went up for first. Ooh, gosh, this has a ton of torque. It's like lifted up the front end. I've never ridden this bike before, if that's, in case it's not obvious. He dropped it off. I got those 3. I've never ridden any of the 3. I've ridden, versions of them, but not these ones. Ooh, I knew I was going to stall it there. I was in a little bit of a hole, and I didn't want to take off with so much power. This thing has really got some power. All right. As I remember to shift down for second, mirror's doing fine. But the first thing I notice is torque and the riding position. The pegs are up and back, and this handlebar is kind of like a drag bar turned down slightly. And it's comfortable. It's actually, I'm much more upright than it might seem, but my feet are in aggressive position, which feels good. We got dual discs up front. I probably didn't mention that, but dual discs. Okay, so now we're up for first. And so you got tons of stopping power, which is good. It's a big bike. Disc in the rear, and man. This engine is intense. It's normally, I'm not used to Sportster. Like, I've ridden Sportsters plenty, and 1200, you think, okay, that's kind of the complaint you always hear about Sportsters from non-Harley people, or Harleys in general, is, you know, all that CCs, and you get almost no like horsepower on paper from it, and that is not the case with this one. Self-canceling turn signals. That's a big benefit on a bike that doesn't feel like a Harley at all. We get the Harley self-canceling turn signals. We also have, if you're not used to, if you're watching this and you're not a Harley person, I think you should at least give them a chance, because they can be fun. But you have right and left turn signals, you know, because some of the controls they're consistent among Harleys, but they're not consistent to Japanese or European bikes or whatever. So you get self-canceling turn signals, which is pretty nice. All of this stuff is really well laid out. I like having my gauges exactly right up here, kind of up in my vision. I hope that comes across. And then all of my little informational buttons there. You can see here that it's called a 2003 XLH 1200 Sport. So the 100th anniversary. So you have a nice little plaque. Yeah, taking off. I'm afraid of this thing in traffic. It's a real fire breather. So this is 2003 is still rigid mounted engines for Harley, and you feel it. I feel more vibrations than a rubber mounted, but it's kind of with the race theme. You know, they don't care about comfort. These things are meant to go. This would be a heck of a fun track bike. It's, you know, that hooligan class. It's like the hooligan style, because this thing is, man, it's a real hooligan Harley. You get to wave to other Harleys, of course. But for being carbureted, it sure does run well. It's not cold-blooded. I mean, it's like 70, 75, somewhere in there today. Beautiful. So I'm up. I gotta kind of talk myself through it, because it's not my muscle memory at all for riding around. Even though I like it. I like GP shift, as they call it. But it, you know, it's hard to go back and forth between your other bikes. And then this is funny, because those other two bikes are right-hand shift, and I think one of them is reverse. So I'm gonna have a heck of a time here today doing these 3 in a row. But yeah, if you want to feel like, or if you kind of like, let's say you're kind of anti-Harley and you just want to like stick it to them, this is a good one. Or if you're a Harley collector and you need one that nobody else has, because these 1200s, they're becoming pretty popular. You know, I think they're black and orange. I think those are the only two colors. And man, it corners well. I was kind of thinking I came in there a little hot for talking and riding at the same time, but no, it took that turn really well. It's definitely the best handling Sportster that I've been on. They're fun. I love Harleys, but they are not known for handling, let's say. But with the Öhlins, this thing is awesome. So traditionally, if you've watched any of my other In the Loop videos, you know that this is where I say give it the beans, and we're going to listen to the exhaust. It gets a little louder when you romp on it. know why I would ever need sixth gear. I was in like fourth there at 60 or 70 plus miles an hour, and that's crazy. So this thing is fun. It's a riot. I mean, it's ridiculous. It really put a smile on my face. I'm here giggling. I'm supposed to do a video talking about it. It's a fun one. It's so low miles. I mean, this is obviously very custom. We don't care about as much miles as much on a custom when somebody redoes everything. But hey, there's Omar doing a test ride. He's one of our mechanics. He's gonna love being in this video. He watches everything, and if he doesn't say anything, then I know he didn't watch this one. But I see the idle bumped up a little bit. I did that. I bumped up the idle earlier just to make sure it was starting. And so I probably should bump it back down, but wow. It's so stable. You know, a lot of times when people do customs, they don't care. They just slap a bunch of parts on it and it's not cohesive, and it really doesn't work well as a motorcycle. But that is not the case with this. This is the Harley they should have built, man. This is awesome. I can't believe how well it runs. I mean, this is unlike any Sportster I've ever ridden. And we had a 73, so that's right-hand shift, AMF era. I've got a 79 at home. Nicole had a 2006 that I rode a lot and did a lot of maintenance on. So yeah, I would turn the idle down, but it's kind of a screw that's hidden down there, so we're just gonna have to live with 1700 RPMs is our idle. But man, it sounds awesome, and it really scoots. I mean, there are some bikes that feel fast, and then there are some that you can tell you're actually, you know, there's not a lot of drama, but they just go, and that's this one. It just goes. The suspension just works so well. I don't understand the transmission, because, you know, Harleys, love them or hate them, there's an obvious clunk to the transmission. You know, even Moto Guzzis are like this. People call it agricultural or whatever, but there's a lot of movement, and it goes clunk every gear, especially first. This is completely violence-free. It's amazing that this is like a different manufacturer's transmission. I mean, everything is tight and easy. I hope I don't lose that mirror. That feels fine. And yeah, I can't believe how good this transmission is. I didn't even know this existed, but what do I got to do? Go up? And I'm trying to downshift and talk. So yeah, this is a real dream transmission. And man, it's easy to ride fast, so you don't feel like you're just like along for the ride and this thing's a monster that you can barely control. That's how some of those customs, especially custom Harleys, feel. It just feels like, you know, I just care about the numbers it puts down on the dyno. I don't care about how it actually rides, and that is not the case with this one. It rides amazing. So this bike's for sale. I'm sure I mentioned that, but I said consignment earlier at the beginning, and you can test ride this. So if we have our regular hours. That's kind of one of the big things. The reason someone would consign a bike through us is because we're here. We have regular hours. You don't have to meet the guy in the parking lot from Facebook Marketplace with a bunch of cash in your pocket. Can I get through there? I think so. And you know, we'll take credit cards here. You know, we do financing. So this is a customer's bike. I don't want to bonk it. So anyway, this has been In the Loop. I'm Dylan, Throttle Company, Columbus, Ohio. Come down, check it out. If you want to see this or watch my other videos, I'm about to do another one on those other two bikes. So thanks for watching. I'll catch you next time.